I think just one game at a time. I think when you do that, good things happen. Be where your feet are, and we're just focused on playing a really good Notre Dame team on Saturday. And they're very athletic. They're tough. They score a lot of points. They got a great defense, and they're going to be a handful. So we're just one game at a time.
Regy, how do you get a team to buy into being defensive oriented the way your team has kind of developed, or has that just developed that way?
Yeah, I think the players buy in, and some years you got to kind of outscore teams to win, and some years your back end does it a little bit more. We just seem to be a little more on the back end this year. But with that being said, I think we've had 3 games in a row we scored at least 10 goals, and so I do think our offense is trending. We're going to need that as we go. We're going to these teams are good that we're playing. They score lots of points. So I think if we can continually to bring our offense up and our defense keep playing, I think we'll be a tough team to beat.
Forgive me, I forget your quote about the Dogs the other day. The close games, being in close games, just there's something about that when you've been in enough of those, you know what to do in those situations. How has your team developed that trait?
We're working on things. I think dog fights. It's just we've been in a lot of them this year, and but the kids have made some plays, and we're just trying to clean up some areas. Though we've had a couple turnovers late in those situations where we could have closed out. We've had a couple green cards, yellow cards. So we just got to clean up those kind of near end of the game and clean up those areas and just keep continuing to learn. I think it's the biggest thing.
When we talk to a lot of the players, they kind of see you as like a second dad, kind of like a cultural piece, like a family piece there. How do you try to do that, and how do you think that helps your team throughout a long season, those ups and downs?
I just think, with our culture here, everyone's valued. It doesn't matter how many minutes you play. I think each person's valued, and everyone has such an important role on the team, whether they're on the field, not on the field. So it's just it really is it's a great environment this year, and a great culture. And but at the end of the day, that's a big reason because of our leadership and the players just buying in.
Talking about those dog fights, 5 of the last 6 have been decided by just 2 goals or fewer. How do you guys continue to succeed in those fights?
We got to clean up. I think a few of those games we could have closed them out, and we turned the ball over, or we got a green card, yellow card. So it's teams doing it to us, but at the same time, we got to play a little cleaner at the end, and just clean up those I think those last quarter mishaps that we've been doing. And again, it's been good to have a full week of prep for Notre Dame, but also to work on a couple of our situational stuff and focus on us a little bit this week.
Where have you seen teams challenging you these last few games?
I think clearing the ball. We've been we start out the year so on the clear, and then we really have done well. And then I think the last couple of games we've had they've pushed up a little bit on us, or they've dropped road on us and gave a little pressure. So I think just we got to clean it up in the clear. I think the teams have got a couple on us, and then on a draw win, just trapping us over the 30. So we're working on those situations, and hopefully we improve.
With Coach Desko getting honored this weekend, what does he mean to you as a player and coach?
I mean, his coaching resume speaks for himself. I mean, he's one of the most storied coaches in the history of not only Syracuse but the NCAA, and to have him and play for him was an honor. And then when I worked here to have a mentor like him, so really happy for him and his family, and it's so well deserved.
What did you learn from him when you were a player?
Just preparation. He was really a person that attention to detail. You're always prepared, if not over prepared. So you never felt like you get in a game and something it's a surprise. So you're very well prepared, and he was very calm, I think, under pressure.
Coach, looking at the Notre Dame, they have one of the best goalies in the country in Patterson, allowing under 8 goals a game. How do you prepare for someone like that?
Yeah, I think we just got to continue to shoot the ball better. She's a goalie that is playing well, and when she gets hot, she gets hot. And I think early on, playing in the dome, we gotta we gotta really focus up on our shooting. I think if we shoot a couple at her and she gets going a little bit, she just gets tougher and tougher. So she's a very good goalie, and they got a very good defense this year too. So it's going to be a handful for our offense, but we're going to have to dig in, and Coach Nicole's got some good systems for versus their zone, and should be a good game on Saturday.
What's the biggest area of growth you see from the team, whether on or off the field, from fall camp to right now?
I think a lot of areas. Our shooting percentage is rising, which is vitally important, right? Our D's been holding us down all year. That's I think no secret to anyone. D's been holding it, but I really like how our offense is coming. We're shooting the ball a little bit better. we'd love to be around 50%. We're not, but we are shooting the ball a little bit better, and we have to continue to do that. I think on the draws, we're around 42%. We're getting there. Our fundamentals are, like I said it last week, our fundamentals on the draw are there, and we're good. We got to work on it a little bit more, and hopefully we can get to 50%. And the Notre Dame girl, she's a really, really good draw taker, 121 or 120 draw controls on the year. So it's got to be another good test for us from the draw team this weekend.
Regy, what's something that's impressed you with the dynamic between Dan and you said the defense has been holding it down. What's the chemistry like there, and how she kind of leads the way?
Dan's she makes plays. I mean, she's making saves, but the defense is giving her some good pressured shots, and honestly, there's just, she's a goalie that also can steal a couple saves, and so if she can make the saves she's supposed to and steal a couple, I think she's in a really good position to be around 50%. She's a little under 50%, but also with Dan, if she's not seeing the ball as well as she needs to or wants to, she's doing other things. She's doing getting those ground balls. She's one of our top leaders in ground balls. She's going out and get a cause turnover, and then she's really helping us on the clear there. So she's a goalie that I think if she's not seeing the ball real well, she's doing a lot of other really good things for us. So if we can get her making saves like she's been doing and getting those ground balls and leading our clear, I think we'll be in good shape.
Time for 2 or 3 more.
With a close back and forth game like the one against Duke on Saturday, what do you learn about your team from a game like that?
I just think it's a resilient group. I think we got a little bit, I think, rattled in the third quarter, but I think I said after the game, I just thought they showed a lot of composure, and again, being in so many tight games, I think you kind of just get immune to it, and I think we got to clean up some things, especially in the fourth quarter, and then if we can do that, like I said, we'll have a good chance to win.
You mentioned before, Regy, how much film that Molly watches and the time she dedicates to the game. Is she emerging as a leader on this team, even as a sophomore?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're asking her to do a lot. I mean, score goals, get some assists, and we're asking her to really carry the load on the draws, and it's a lot of work. You haven't come off the field with a new rule to exchange your stick. So, but she's doing it, and she's a converted midfielder, so she's certainly got the legs and stamina to do it. But we're asking her a lot, and we just got to be. Hopefully be better on the draw, and we can maybe save her a little bit, but right now she's been our one, and we're asking a lot of her, so hopefully we can keep developing on the draw so we can spell her a little bit and give her a few breaks, but as of right now she's got to go, and she's been great at it.
Anything final, Coach?
Coach, as a first-year head coach, obviously you've been around the game a long time, but at this point in the season, has anything kind of surprised you or stuck out to you, or it's kind of just the same as you expected?
No, I think this group's got a lot of potential. I don't think we've played a full 60 minutes of lacrosse. So again, we just got to keep learning and growing, and hopefully we can put it together. This is a huge ACC game for us for seedings. I mean, it's the same thing as a couple weeks ago. We could go 3-7, 3-6, 3-8 in the ACC tournament. So it's a huge game for us, and against a really good Notre Dame team.